Hey, and welcome to today's DreamFuel breathwork and visualization session designed to build endurance and find comfort in the long game. I'm Alex, I'll be your guide this morning. I have 2 decades of experience coaching and guiding breathwork and visualization with elite performers from professional sport to the C-suite of the Fortune 500. Before we start, a quick note on why this works. Your breath is the fastest way to regulate your nervous system. Controlled, intentional breathing signals safety to the brain, reduces unnecessary threat responses, and brings the body into a state where focus, clarity, and good decision-making are consistently available. Visualization adds another powerful layer. The brain doesn't clearly distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. When you rehearse a state in rich sensory detail, you activate the same neural circuits you'll use in the real moment. Over time, that's how neuroplasticity wires new responses. In other words, you're training your nervous system for how you show up under pressure. State is contagious. The level of clarity and authority in your nervous system is felt immediately by the people around you. Great leaders don't just manage strategy, they manage state. By the end of this session, most people will feel noticeably calmer, clearer, and more grounded. The kind of steady confidence that allows you to move through pressure with presence. Okay, let's dive in. We're going to use 2 tools today, breathwork and visualization in tandem. 2 highly potent tools for your mindset. Breathwork calms the nervous system and releases tension from the body. Visualization is a guided talk track which helps reprogram your mind or prepare it for action. In this session, we're preparing your mind to go the distance on a mountain ultra trail run. When the breathwork begins, simply close your eyes and use your imagination to begin visualizing what I'll be describing. It can take a moment to get the hang of intentionally breathing and visualizing at the same time. If your mind wanders, which is completely normal, just bring your attention back to my voice. Eventually, the practice will become effortless and highly enjoyable. Lastly, if you happen to lose your pace while breathing, you can always open your eyes and look at the moving graphic on your screen to get back to the pace. Today's session will consist of 5 long breathing phases, where you'll experience elite endurance under pressure through the process of an ultramarathon trail run. Rounds 1 and 5 of today's practice will be the same. That'll be our build-up and our integration rounds, respectively, where you're going to breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds and then out through your nose for 7 seconds. Those are much more relaxed rounds. Our more intense breathing rounds will be rounds 2, 3, and 4. The tempo that we'll be using in those 3 rounds is a 4-second inhale and a 4-second exhale. We're going to be breathing exclusively through the mouth as if you were holding a straw in your mouth. It's called the power breath. So purse your lips as if you were holding a straw in your mouth. You'll pull the air in as hard as you can for 4 seconds and then push the air out as hard as you can for 4 seconds. All of the movement's going to come through the belly, so let the belly expand fully on the inhale and let the belly collapse fully on the exhale. Roughly halfway through each of those 3 rounds, rounds 2, 3, and 4, we're going to speed things up a little bit. For about a minute, we'll change the tempo from 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out to 1 second in, 1 second out. When we get there, I'll just remind you about 5 seconds out, and then we're going to do a minute of 1 second in, 1 second out. Again, all through the straw as if you were holding the straw in your mouth. Pulling the air in as hard as you can, pushing it out as hard as you can. So we'll do about a minute of 1 in, 1 out, and then I'll transition you back into 4 in, 4 out. At the end of each of our breathing rounds, we're going to go for a short breath hold. At the end of the round, I'll ask you to inhale as deeply as you can through the straw, filling up the lungs as much as possible, and you'll hold your breath. Just relax the body, relax the shoulders, and hold the breath. When we get into each of the breath holds, I'm going to ask you a question. You're not going to answer that question verbally or even intellectually. You're just going to notice what comes up for you in your intuition in response to the question. If you struggle to hold your breath for the amount of time that I'll guide you through, that's no problem at all. Whenever you feel the first deep urge to breathe, simply start breathing in and out through the nose. You can do this practice seated or lying down, wherever you feel most supported and somewhere you won't be disturbed. Before we dive in, if you have any neurological, cardiovascular, or breathing issues such as asthma, or if you're pregnant, please do not participate in the breath holds and reduce the intensity of your practice to about 40 to 50% of what I'll guide you through. Instead of holding your breath, simply breathe slowly in and out of the nose before we begin the next round of the breath. It's also very common in this practice to experience tingling or cramping in the hands, the feet, or the face. This is nothing to worry about at all. If you wish to get rid of that feeling, simply slow your breathing down and start to breathe in and out through the nose. Okay, let's begin. So make sure you're somewhere comfortable, where you won't be disturbed, and we'll start with our pace breathing in through the nose for 4, out through the nose for 7, in 3, 2, 1, in for 4, 3, 2, 1, out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in for 4, 3, 2, 1, out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in for 4, 3, 2, 1, out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it going at that same tempo. It's still dark when you arrive. The world hasn't fully woken up yet, but the race village is already alive with a quiet kind of electricity. Headlamps bob in the darkness like fireflies. Breath hangs in the cold air. The distant hum of generators, the rustle of jackets, the low murmur of runners speaking in hushed voices, all of it creates that unmistakable atmosphere that exists only in the hour before something hard, something real. The ground beneath your trail shoes is firm and slightly uneven, packed dirt mixed with loose gravel. You shift your weight from one foot to the other and feel the cool air press against your skin. The early morning chill biting lightly at your cheeks, your ears, your fingertips. Your race vest sits snug across your chest. The straps are secure. The soft flasks bounce gently with movement. Every piece of gear has been chosen for a reason. Every detail has been considered. You look up. The sky is a deep indigo, almost black, with only the faintest suggestion of morning beginning to gather somewhere far off on the horizon. The stars are still visible overhead, sharp, cold, distant. The mountains ahead are only silhouettes right now, dark, jagged outlines standing against the sky like sleeping giants. Somewhere out there is the course. Long climbs, technical descents, exposed ridgelines. Heat later, fatigue later. Moments when the mind will beg to stop. And yet you're here. You can smell coffee in the air from somewhere behind you, damp earth, pine. The synthetic scent of energy gels being torn open nearby. The salt already drying faintly on your skin from nervous anticipation. Your mouth is dry in that specific way it gets before effort begins, before the body has fully settled into the rhythm of action. You bring your attention inward. This is where it starts. Not with the first step, not with the first climb, not even with the first pain cave. It starts here. In the decision. The decision to enter willingly. The decision to meet discomfort instead of avoid it. The decision to let the race reveal something deeper in you. Around you, other runners stretch, bounce lightly, check watches, tighten laces. But you grow quieter, more focused, more inward. The noise around you begins to fade as your mind settles into something steadier. You're not here for comfort. You're here to train the part of you that stays. The part that does not leave when it gets hard. The part that remains calm when the body gets loud. The part that knows suffering is not the end of the story, is often the doorway. A breeze cuts across the start area, carrying the smell of sage and cold stone. You roll your shoulders once. You loosen your jaw. You feel your chest rise and fall. You feel your feet rooted to the ground, the charge in your body, not frantic, not scattered, but sharpened. The start line glows faintly ahead beneath portable lights. A banner stretched across the darkness. A threshold. You step toward it now with calm purpose, not to prove yourself, not to outrun anyone else, but to discover how deep you can go without abandoning yourself. A final glance toward the course. A final breath in the dark. And somewhere deep beneath the nerves, beneath the anticipation, beneath the natural respect for what's coming, there's readiness. We'll start our first round of the breath and our race. 4 seconds in through the straw, 4 seconds out through the straw, breathing as deeply as you can. In 3, 2, 1, inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 out. 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 Keep it going. The race begins. At first it's a blur of movement and sound. Shoes crunching over gravel, poles clicking, packs shifting, breath rising into the cold morning air. Headlamps stream forward in a loose, glowing ribbon as the field spreads out along the trail. The energy is high. Adrenaline hums through your body, legs feel quick, the nervous system is alert. Everyone around you is fresh enough to mistake speed for strength. But you don't rush. You settle. You know better. The trail bends upward almost immediately, climbing through dense forest where the earth is dark and soft beneath your feet. Pine needles cushion sections of the path. Roots twist across the ground like veins. The smell of wet soil and evergreen fills the air with every breath. Your hands brush cold leaves as you move past tight sections of trail. The sound of the group begins to thin as the mountain naturally stretches everyone into their own rhythm. This is the first lesson of endurance. Do not get seduced by the crowd's urgency. Find your own tempo. You lock into a rhythm that feels sustainable, powerful, efficient. The body warms. Your breathing deepens. A bead of sweat rolls down the side of your neck despite the cold. Your calves begin to awaken on the incline. Your heartbeat is firm, strong, insistent but controlled. Keep the breath going. Full inhale for 4 seconds, let the belly expand, and a full exhale, pushing all of the air out through the straw as you go. Morning slowly opens around you. The horizon starts to lighten through the trees. Grey gives way to silver. Silver gives way to pale gold. The first shafts of sunlight pierce through branches and strike the trail in angled lines. Birds begin to call. Somewhere off to your left, a creek moves over rocks in a fast, cold rush. We're going to speed things up to 1 in, 1 out in 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 in, out. Keep it going. You feel alive. Not comfortable, alive. There's a difference. Alive means fully engaged with reality. Alive means the senses are sharpened. Alive means you're not asleep in your own life. The climb continues, and with it comes the first quiet negotiations from the mind. Ease off. Save it. This is a long day. Maybe you're not fully ready. You hear those thoughts without becoming them. You've heard them before. They're old, predictable, familiar. They arrive early, long before true limits are reached, and you keep moving. Step by step, the mountain teaches you the difference between sensation and meaning. Burning legs do not mean stop. Heavy breath does not mean danger. Discomfort does not mean something has gone wrong. It means you're in it. Let's come back to 4 in, 4 out in 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 out. In, out, 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 out. In, out, 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 out. Keep it going. The trail steepens. Hikers' switchbacks cut sharply up the hillside. You plant each foot carefully, feeling the grit shift beneath your shoes. Your quads begin to load. Your glutes tighten with effort. Sweat gathers under your pack. Salt reaches your lips. You taste effort now. It's metallic, earthy, alive. You pass a runner who went out too hard, head down, hands on knees, already bargaining with the day. And immediately the lesson lands more deeply. Mental toughness is not aggression, it's emotional discipline. It's the ability to stay honest, patient, and committed over long stretches of discomfort. You crest the first climb and emerge onto an exposed ridgeline just as the sun finally breaks free over the horizon. The sky erupts in color. Orange, rose, and pale yellow spreading across the distant peaks. Wind hits your face more strongly now. Cooler, cleaner, bigger. The view opens in every direction. For a few moments, the beauty is staggering. The race doesn't pause for beauty. You keep moving. The trail rolls now, up, down, rocky, technical, demanding your attention. Ankles stabilizing over uneven terrain, arms loose, eyes scanning. Every part of you is engaged. This isn't just physical effort, it's sustained presence. And somewhere in the middle of those early miles, something subtle begins to shift. The chatter quiets. The nerves burn off. The performance mind falls away. Now it's just you and the course. You and the next step. You and the growing understanding that toughness is built here. Not in heroic moments, but in disciplined moments. In choosing composure. In choosing patience. In choosing one more step. And then another. And then another. We'll take our first hold in 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale through the straw. Fill up the lungs as much as you can all the way to the top. And hold the breath. And we'll release the breath in 3, 2, 1, and let it go with a sigh out of the mouth. Full exhale, full release. And just ground yourself with the breath. And we're back in the same tempo. 4 seconds in through the straw, 4 seconds out through the straw. Full expansion of the belly on the inhale, full collapse of the belly, pulling it in towards the spine on the exhale. So really powerful, intentional breath, getting as much air into the lungs as you possibly can on the inhale and forcing as much air out as you can on the exhale. We'll take our minute of speeding things up halfway through, and then we'll get back to our 4 in, 4 out. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 4, 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 out. In, out, 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 out. Keep it going. Now the race gets honest. The sun is high. The shade is gone. The trail has opened into a long, exposed section across dry hills and loose, dusty fire road. Heat radiates off the ground in waves. The air is still, thick. Your skin is coated with salt. Your shirt clings damp against your back. Dust has settled on your shins, your socks, the backs of your calves. Your legs no longer feel springy. They feel used. There's a heaviness now in your hips, a dull ache gathering in your quads, the first signs of cumulative fatigue spreading through the body. Your feet sting inside your shoes. Shoulders feel the weight of your vest more than they did earlier. Your stomach is beginning to push back on fuel. Nothing is dramatic enough to stop you, but enough is uncomfortable enough to matter. This is the section people don't post about. This is where the race strips away fantasy. No crowd, no fresh legs, no romance. Just heat, dust, fatigue, and your own mind. The trail rises again in a long, endless incline. The kind that is too runnable to justify walking, but steep enough to make every step feel expensive. Sweat runs into your eyes. Your mouth tastes like salt and stale sugar from gels. Your breathing is harder now. The scenery is harsher. Dry grass, scrub brush, stones radiating warmth, cicadas buzzing in the heat like a low electrical current in the background. And right here, this is the portal. The pain cave. Let's speed things up to 1 in, 1 out in 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 in, out. Keep it going. The pain cave isn't a single moment, but a doorway you step through when discomfort stops being temporary and becomes the environment itself. This is where most people start searching for escape. You do something different. You stop resisting the reality of the moment. The heat is here. The fatigue is here. The pain is here. And still, so are you. The moment you stop arguing with reality, energy returns. You let your posture organize itself. You unclench what doesn't need to work. Jaw soft, hands loose, face calm. Effort where it matters, relaxation where it doesn't. The body learns this only through repetition, how to suffer efficiently. We'll come back to 4 in, 4 out in 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 out. In, out, 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 out. Keep it going. A runner ahead starts fading. Another one steps off the trail, bent over, hands braced on thighs. You can hear the ragged edge in people now. The day is taking its toll. But you've entered a different conversation. Not how much longer, not why is this so hard, but who am I when it gets hard? That's the real race. You feel your mind trying to narrow, trying to dramatize, trying to zoom all the way out to total distance still remaining. You bring it back immediately. Not the whole race, this hill, this breath, this patch of trail. You hear gravel crunch underfoot. You hear the dry rasp of your own breathing. You hear a hawk somewhere overhead. You feel sweat cooling briefly whenever a breeze touches your skin. You smell hot dirt and sun-baked brush. You taste salt, effort, minerals, exhaustion. You're deep in it now. And then, beneath all the fatigue, something stronger begins to emerge. Not hype, not adrenaline, something quieter. A refusal to fold. A refusal to become small inside of difficulty. A refusal to betray yourself just because the day is asking more than comfort wants to give. This is grit. Not intensity for 5 minutes, not motivation when conditions are good. Grit is your relationship to friction. Your willingness to stay inside the work without making yourself the victim of it. The climb continues, and so do you. At some point, the mind stops asking whether you can. It begins accepting that you will. We'll take our next hold in 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale through the straw, fill up the lungs as much as you can, all the way to the top, and hold the breath. And we'll release the breath in 3, 2, 1. Let it go with a sigh out the mouth. Full exhale, full release. Ground yourself with the breath in and out. And we'll get it back into our final round of the race. 4 seconds in through the straw, 4 seconds out through the straw as powerfully as you can. In 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 out. In, out, 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 out. In, out, 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 out. Keep it going. Late in the race, everything sharpens again. Not because you feel better. You don't. You feel stripped down. Simplified. There's pain in the body now that has settled into place like weather. A deep soreness in the legs. Hot spots in the feet. Tightness through the hips. Fatigue in the lower back. Your shoulders ache. Your neck is stiff. Your energy is lower, but your focus is cleaner. The trail drops into a wooded canyon and then rises again toward the final major climb. The light has changed. Afternoon is beginning to tip toward evening. Shadows stretch longer across the trail. The air cools slightly under the trees and the smell of pine returns, rich and grounding after hours of dust and exposure. You take in a sip of cooler air and feel the smallest flicker of relief. Then the final climb begins. Steep, relentless. The kind of climb that asks for everything that's left. We'll speed things up in 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 in, out. Keep it going. Your body responds with protest. Quads trembling, calves tight, lungs working, sweat dried and reformed a dozen times over. Every part of you knows this would be easier to stop, easier to pull back, easier to save something. But this is not the place for saving. This is the place for offering your full attention, your full honesty, your full effort. Not reckless, not desperate, just complete. The trail narrows into rock and dirt. Switchbacking up through boulders and scrub. You place your hands on your thighs during the steepest sections and drive upward step by step. Your breathing is forceful now, controlled but primal. Your heartbeat pounds in your ears. The world has become extremely simple. Step, drive. Step, drive. The body's tired. The will is not. Let's come back to 4 in, 4 out in 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1 and out. 4, 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 out. In, out, 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 out. Keep it going. You think of all the times in life when things got difficult and some part of you wanted relief more than growth. All the moments when discomfort tempted you to fragment, numb out, avoid, withdraw, or negotiate with your own potential. And here, on this climb, you choose differently. You become more whole, more available, more honest. You stop dividing reality into what you like and dislike. You just meet it. The taste of salt on your lips, the sting of sweat in your eyes, the scrape of dry air in your throat, the ache in your lungs, the roughness of rock under your shoes, the smell of earth, bark, and effort. All of it belongs. And because all of it belongs, none of it can break you. Somewhere near the top, a final reserve opens up. It's not physical alone, it's spiritual, identity-driven. The body takes its cue from what the mind believes is true. And right now, what is true is this. You are someone who can stay. Someone who can keep moving cleanly under load. Someone who does not need ideal conditions to give a full effort. Someone who's trained for this. Not just in running, but in life. You crest the climb. The ridge opens. The light of late afternoon spills across the landscape in long golden bands. Mountains stack endlessly in the distance. The sky is enormous. Wind moves across your sweat-salted skin and sends a chill through your body. It feels raw, holy, earned. And from here, the course turns home. You begin to descend. Careful, committed, focused, not reckless, not casual. You're too deep in this to get sloppy now. Fatigue makes the body clumsy, but the mind stays precise. You move with grit and intelligence, with discipline and soul. Every mile now is a declaration. Not that it wasn't hard, but the hard did not own you. We'll take our final hold in 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale through the straw, fill up the lungs one more time, and hold the breath. And we'll release the breath in 3, 2, 1. Let it go with a sigh at the mouth. Full exhale, full release. Ground yourself with the breath in and out. And we'll come back to our paced breathing at 4 seconds in through the nose, 7 seconds out of the nose in 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it going. Release the need to do any work and simply sink deeper with every exhale. The finish line comes into view gradually. First, the distant sound, faint voices, a speaker somewhere, a few claps drifting on the wind. Then the banners. Then the people. Then the chute. The body feels wrecked and alive all at once. Legs heavy, feet sore, shoulders spent, face crusted with salt. Dust on your calves. Sweat dried into your clothes. You can taste the day on your skin. You can feel every mile still living in the tissues of your body. And yet beneath the fatigue there is something radiant. Not pride in the superficial sense, something deeper. Self-respect. You cross the line not as the person who stood at the start in the dark before dawn. That version of you was hopeful. This version of you is tested, proven, more intimate with reality. You slow to a walk. The world feels slightly surreal now. Sounds arrive strangely, muffled and bright all at once. The smell of food from the finish area drifts through the air. Broth, coffee, sweat, dirt, grass. Someone wraps a blanket around your shoulders and it feels impossibly soft against your skin. You lower yourself onto the grass or into a chair and let the body begin to come down. Heart rate settling, hands resting, jaw softening. The sky above is gentler now. Evening beginning to gather. The edge of effort giving way to stillness. You look back toward the mountains, toward the ridgelines and trails that held you all day. And you realize the gift of an effort like this is not the result. It's the evidence. Evidence that you can stay with hard things longer than fear says you can. Evidence that discomfort does not erase your agency. Evidence that resilience is not a trait you either have or you don't have. It's a relationship you build, one choice at a time. You feel the ache in your body and know it means something now. You earned this tiredness. You earned this quiet. You earned this deeper trust in yourself. As recovery begins, the whole race starts to reorganize itself in your mind. The dark, cold start. The early climbs. The exposed heat. The pain cave. The final ascent. The finish. Each section gave you something. Patience. Discipline. Composure. Humility. Ferocity. Perspective. And as you sit here now, breathing in the cool evening air, you understand that this training reaches far beyond the trail. Because life will ask the same questions ultra running asks. Can you stay steady when things get uncomfortable? Can you regulate when the mind becomes dramatic? Can you keep showing up cleanly when the reward is still far away? Can you remain faithful to the next step? You already know the answer. You just lived it. Let the body soften now. Let the nervous system absorb the lesson. Let this effort settle into identity. You're not just someone who survived a hard day. You're someone who knows how to meet resistance without collapsing. Someone who can suffer with intelligence. Someone who can endure with heart. Someone who can keep going. And from this place, the integration is simple. Take the steadiness. Take the self-trust. Take the evidence. And carry it back into the rest of your life. Because the trail may end here for today, but the deeper training continues.